Hi and welcome back. The aim of this lecture is to show how to create the perfect match between corporates and startups in the fashion world. We will analyze this process from the startup point of view, highlighting how to convince a corporate to collaborate with a smaller company through specific messages. There is a mismatch between corporates and startups. They have different sizes, different cultures, and different needs. So, what could go wrong in the relationship? For example, startups have the tendency to approach companies when they still have a not-so-solid solution that requires other pilots before being fully operational. In this case, companies are worried about what will happen when they start collaborating with them. If corporates and startups don't really understand each other, problems may arise. A corporate expects a tailored solution while the startup is working on multiple features for different clients, and setting priorities is a challenge. Another problem may lie in the fact that startups are young, small, and hungry, while companies are big, established, and very structured. The cultural clash between the two may create fights and cause discontent among all parties involved. These are just some examples, but the underlying question remains the same. How can startups win over brand skepticism? In the past, aggressive sales were the rule. ABC, always be closing, was a mantra focused on acquiring clients no matter what, and without excessively thinking about the consequences. As the actor Alec Baldwin points out in the movie Glengarry Glen Ross, clients signing their contracts are the only aspect that truly matters, whatever the cost. However, the scenario has changed, and now your focus should be on helping the lead before making clients sign a contract. Help has proven to be a powerful tool to convince skeptical stakeholders of your solutions, instead of just outlining your benefits and value proposition. Before reaching out to corporates and helping them to increase your chances of commercial success, let's review 3 key aspects for a successful collaboration. First and foremost, you have to define in advance if your prospect has a problem you can solve. If this is not the case, sealing the deal will be extremely tough, since there are surely better candidates. Be honest with yourself. The solution is studying your target thoroughly. If you have conducted a sound market research, your relationship with leads will be smooth. Knowing their internal structure, priorities, and market size will be a great asset when you start creating a link with any company. Secondly, let's assume that a specific company has indeed a problem you can solve. Now, your question should shift to your timing. Are you talking with the right person in the right moment? Let's find out how it works. Decision-making is quite structured in any given organization, and multiple steps will be required to take an informed decision. If you are too early, your value proposition may be lost in the process. If you are too late, it is possible that the corporate has already selected a competitor, so finding the right spot will represent a major challenge. Thirdly, even if your target is ready for action and committed, you have to make sure that your solution is easy to purchase. Any block may scare away potential leads, and having dedicated support as well as multiple ways to seal the payment will be assets to leverage during your negotiation. Creating different touchpoints to buy will help you in the long run. This is related to your website and how you can automate most of the process without involving too many people that may cause unwanted delays. If you make it too hard to buy because you don't have an infrastructure or a clear idea about your pricing, convincing companies will be hard. So to recap, you can convince a brand to work with you only if you solve your problem, if you are sure that you are ready for you, and if you make it easy for them to buy. If any of these pillars fails, any negotiation will be less than ideal and potentially problematic for your company as a whole. However, the war will be long and hard. Corporates generally work with only one startup for a specific need, focusing their attention and resources. They will take a calculated risk, and they will only go on if they are fully convinced about the startup. So, how can you beat your competition? A legend such as Michael Dell, founder of Dell Inc., says that ideas are a commodity. Execution of them is not. As a consequence, perfect execution is required to overcome your competition, because you may present the same idea, but if you are flawless in what you do, competitors will stand a chance against your company. Going deeper on what could be the keys to seal the deal, we can refer to what Mike Schultz and Johnny Doerr have to say about it. Their book Inside Selling brought valuable insights about what differentiates winners from losers. They defined 3 steps to win over brands. Connect leads with your company, aligning their needs and your solution. Convince them that you are trustworthy, collaborate in different moments, and show that you are open to dialogue. Unfortunately, mastering the connect, convince, and collaborate strategy could not be enough to succeed in such a competitive market. So let's dig deeper and see which are the 5 most important features to win a deal with corporates. First, you need to educate your lead with new ideas or perspectives. Your focus should be on helping the target to better understand what they're looking for instead of just selling. Second, collaboration. Being truly committed to collaborate with the brand is a decisive asset in any negotiation, reducing tensions as they emerge. Third, convincing the brand about results. Focusing on KPIs, which are key performance indicators, to explain why your solution is the best on the market will help you define expectations as well. Fourth, listening. Be open to remarks and feedbacks by other companies, even when they sting. This is the path to tweak your value proposition and constantly optimizing what you are offering them. Fifth, understanding their needs, considering both their intentions and their technical or personal limitations, is fundamental for a successful deal. So these are 5 features to win the race, but keep in mind the most important one, educating your target. Keep this in mind at all times when you approach leads because it is the most relevant trait for your success. Of course, the education must be matched with the other aspects, spanning from showing clear expectations to highlighting KPIs. This table may help you while you are reviewing your approach towards brands. To conclude, let's sum up some points from this lesson that you should remember. Helping is the focus, not only closing contracts. Winning a deal is about presenting a great solution to the right person in the correct moment. Connect, convince, and collaborate for a truly successful collaboration. Finally, remember also that you can use the 5 points highlighted for additional guidance. Thank you for your attention.